Alright friends, so here are the yucca roots that I'm going to be planting. I'll cut the tops of these greens off here in a little bit. For now. And then you say they do really well in sandy soil, so I'm going to add some of this sand to the bottom of their hole. Some of this. Take some of these rocks, from over here. Oh, that's heavy. Alright, let me get some scissors. Okay friends, well I have all the materials I need to replant these yucca plants. And I did get all the leaves cut off the top of these yucca plants so that they'll go straight into the ground with an inch of dirt over the top. I brought along some rocks for the bottom, some sand. Although where I'm going to plant them at, down along the road, there's quite a few rocks and kind of gravelly down there already. But I'll go ahead and mix this in for extra support. By putting them alongside the road, not only will they be in a well-suited, very sunny, hot area because there's sun down there all the time. During the winter, if any gravel or any materials get scraped onto the top of them, they're still going to go ahead and do okay. While I'm down there, I'm going to dig up some irises because I realized that during the winter when John or the neighbor scrapes our road, they pick up dirt and debris and they put it on top of those irises, accidentally of course. And irises cannot be buried very deep or they won't flower. They have to have their bulbs showing. So I'm going to go ahead and dig those irises up that keep getting covered and put them somewhere safer for them. And probably put these yuccas in their spot. So a lot of work cut out for me this afternoon, so come on along and join the fun. Alright, here we go. So as you can see, I've already been working in this area, putting in ditch lilies. My daughter had a bunch of ditch lilies she needed to get dug up and gotten rid of, so I thought this would be a good place up here at this east end of the ditch where it's really hard to mow, it's really hard to plant and take care of anything. So hopefully all of that will fill in with ditch lilies. However, I think that these irises are okay because they're far enough from the road. But as he goes on down the road, then these down here end up getting gravel and debris pushed on top of them. So these are the irises that are going to come up. And I think that I'm going to go ahead and leave this iris patch because I did notice this spring that they did okay. And as you can see, they still are sticking out of the ground. But the other ones are just constantly getting covered up, so they're too deep. All right, so I have my work cut out for me. So these I'm leaving, these I'm taking. And this is where I'm going to put the yuccas, right in here. Take you guys in just a little bit closer down here where you can see where I'm actually going to put them. Hey Paulo, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, I know you want attention, but I'm trying to work right now. I know. All right, you better scoot back. Go on, go lay down. Good boy. They're supposed to be about 3 feet between them, 2 to 3 feet. So that's what I'm going to aim for. Probably closer to 2 feet, but we'll just see. Maybe 3. I don't know. What would you say? The shovel width's about 1 foot. So put 1 here and then count 3 shovel widths. Yeah. It's a little hard digging because I keep hitting rock. Which, that's why it's a good place, because they will grow where there are rocks. I think these up here are okay. But those down there, because when as he pushes down the road, this down here is usually where it gets dumped. So. That's why they didn't flower this year, I'm pretty sure. It's because last year he covered them too deeply. On accident, he didn't mean to. I mean, John's a farmer and he knows how to grow crops, but he doesn't know a whole lot about flowers. You know, and even if he did, when there's snow on the ground, you can't tell where they're at. So it's kind of up to me to pick the best spot for them. They're getting there. You know, it's really kind of hard to believe that 5 years ago, back in 2015, the year I had to apply for disability, I couldn't even dig a hole, more or less, a bed. When I started therapy, my counselor suggested that since I loved flowers so much, I start gardening. So I did. John helped me to get the fence put up, and I started putting in just little patches of flowers here and there, and I couldn't even hardly dig a hole. I would ask John, can you go out there and help me dig that hole? And at the time I thought he was being mean, because he'd say, no, you can do it. If you want that hole dug, if you want that flower garden, you can do it. He said, I put the fence in, but you have to put the flowers in. Of course, at the time I thought he was just being mean. But I tell you, it really made me do it. And I've just gotten in better and better shape every year with my gardening. And my motivation has just gotten higher and higher. My self-esteem has gotten higher and higher. So my counselor, who recommended doing the gardening, the cottage garden, and then John, who did help with the fencing and things he knew I couldn't do, but kind of kicked my butt with the things that he knew I should be able to do. They really helped to lift me out of a depression. They really helped me get back in shape mentally, spiritually, physically. My gardening has just done wonders for my overall health. So I'm very proud of myself for being able to dig as much dirt as I'm able to dig nowadays. All right. Okay, so on with the trench here. I think I have 3 feet. I might need to make another little hole. I think I'm only going to put them 2 feet deep though, because I don't want to get too close to the road, and I can't hardly go back any further. So they're going to be 3 feet apart, but then they're only going to be 2 feet this way. And I have 4 to put in. So I might like stagger them a little bit. But anyway, all right. I'll put dirt on top. All right, let me go get my yucca plants. Already some rock in there. Put a little more rock in there. Out. All right. Put some sand in there. They can't live in just rocks and sand. They have to have a little bit of dirt, but they don't have to have. They like it sandy and rocky. I think. I'm not sure what that word is, but anyway. All right. One, two, three, four. All right, I'm going to get some clean topsoil to put on top. I'll show you where I get my topsoil at. All right, so let's get rid of these clods of dirt here and go get some looser soil. I'll show you where I get my loose soil at. All right, so we have sort of like a compost pile right here that will eventually become a good dirt pile. But right now it just takes all the clods and the weeds. So let me get this dumped. All right, that's where the old compost pile used to be, and now it's good dirt. Actually, I don't think there's very much bad dirt in Missouri, to tell you the truth. Missouri has pretty good dirt no matter where you dig, but anyway, we're gonna go here. All right, well there we go. Not quite a full wagon load, but I'm just too hot to dig anymore today. So that's good loose dirt I'm gonna throw on top of those yuccas. Okay friends, so I'm not sure that you should use this as a how-to video on how to plant yuccas because to tell you the truth, this is the first time I've ever planted them, and I just read up on the internet what it said, and the internet said that they like sandy, rocky soil with a little bit of topsoil mixed in, and that you want to cover them completely so that nothing is showing up to a 1 inch underground. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do here. And these will be mounded over. It's mainly the root part that you want at least 1 inch underground. But these will eventually then rebloom, re-sprout in the spring. But I'm going to try to get them as covered up as I can. And if I can't get it all with this load, then I might come back and do some more tomorrow. But here we go. Alright, so they are covered up. I will have to put more dirt in the hole, but I have time to do that. I mostly wanted to get them in and covered. Okay, another load of topsoil. Okay friends, so except for watering this evening, I am done with my yucca plants. Now I just have to wait till spring to see if they grow. Hopefully they will. I think I gave them the right environment, the right soil, the right amount of sun. I think they're in an ideal location. So, if you liked my video about how to plant a yucca plant, please give me a thumbs up. And if you want to know more about what's going on in my corner of the world, be sure to hit that subscribe button to Kim's Country Corner. And I did set up a PayPal that might be interested in contributing to my homesteading channel so that I can continue to make quality videos and get the materials that I need to show more and more homesteading videos. So the PayPal link is in the description box, and there's also a link on my homepage. Alright, talk to y'all later. Bye for now. Stay safe out there in this hot weather. Be sure you hydrate, which is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in and get me a big glass of water. Nothing else, there's the trick like water. Alright, bye for now. Okay, so the sun's going down. It's a little bit cooler. So I've turned on the sprinkler one direction here. And it is now watering the daylilies, the ditch lilies that I had transplanted a couple of days ago. The irises, some of those irises are newly transplanted from today. And then the yuccas are down here. And this off spray here I'm using to clean my wagon. So, because there's nothing planted over here, but it's cleaning my wagon. And then here are the yuccas. And a little bit of dirt has washed off the tops. But I think they're going to be okay. So, the roots themselves are an inch below soil level. And I think that was what they were intending. So, there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And yuccas don't need much water. They're drought tolerant, as are the ditch lilies and most irises. But I'm giving them a real good watering this first time, this first go around. And then this will probably be the last watering I do for this season. But I want to get them settled in good and get those roots growing. So yeah, okay. Yeah, so hopefully next spring, next summer, this ditch area will look a little bit more naturalized. I've got quite a few more ditch lilies in there. Some of the irises I have grouped together, so I've got more larger iris beds, and then my yuccas are in there. And all of those plants do well with tall grasses. The ditch lilies, you know, they don't mind the tall grass at all. The yuccas, I've seen them grow in tall grass. The only thing I have to be careful of is the irises. They do okay in tall grass, but you have to make sure that their bulbs are absorbing sunshine, so you don't want them to get overshadowed. The bulbs absorbing the sunshine is what produces your flowers. So if the bulbs are too deep, or if they're not getting the sunshine they need, they'll put out leaves, but they won't produce your flowers. But I think where I have them all located now, and I've raised the height of them a little bit, that I think they're going to be okay. I'll check on them next summer and see how they go. But yeah, I'm hoping that this ditch lily will, so I'm hoping that this ditch will look pretty. It's always going to have the tall grass. There's just no way it can be mowed completely because it's the ditch that drains our basement. So that basement drains into that ditch, and so that ditch is always going to be there, and it's always going to have grass in it. But we're trying to get it to be just grass. So I come out and I try to get rid of weeds as much as I can.